Hey, hi, how's it going? We're here a day early because today's 12/12. And why not tune in to the energy of this incredible 12/12 portal on the day that it's happening rather than the day after? So I'm switching it up. We're going to post on Monday, and we're also going to dodge the gardeners. Haha. So, yeah, they'll come in with all their leaf stuff tomorrow and I'll do something else and it won't matter. So, yay. And today's um video is brought to you by my new alpaca sweater. Hooray! I love this thing. I love it. I love it. I love it. I've been, wanting to have a sweet, cozy little alpaca sweater for a while, and this one just came along right in the nick of time, and it's rainbow, my favorite color, and have all my little alpaca friends hanging out with me today. So, yeah, that is a really special animal in the Andean tradition, and it's an animal that helps one do the hard labor of being a human being. It's a friend that comes in just in the nick of time to help. And good grief, do we need a little bit of that sometimes. So we'll call in our wonderful alpaca friends to come in and guide and help us climb to the top of the mountain, because we're all climbing the top of some mountain, each of us in our own way. So thank you to the people that wove this. They are such beautiful people that have kept the traditions and stories alive. And yeah, yeah, it's those kind of things that need to be around longer. All right, well, it's 12/12. Let's find out what today is all about. I've been definitely feeling like today is a day where we are so supported, so super duper supported by our guides, higher selves, source, energy, all of that, that we are so supported. It feels, even if you're having maybe a rough day, that this is um an opportunity to lean into the embrace, the guidance, the love that we don't see. And then also just call on the people that you do see. Like I had a friend actually that needed some support. So it's like also remember that you've got actual support, and you could just call them, text them, write them notes, let them know that you were thinking about them or that you need some love. Yeah. So today is one of those days to lean into the support that we've got, all 12 archetypal degrees of it. I feel like the 12 is symbolic of the whole hero's journey, the whole zodiac wheel. It's also, we're in December. It's the end of um our our decided year. We start fresh next month. We'll see what happens then. So, yeah. So go ahead, let's get settled, tune in. We'll call in our higher selves. Ah, I felt that. Wow, that feels really solid, really grounded. That we're here hanging out in this sacred space together and asking what the energy of the 12/12 portal is actually supporting us in. Oh, look at that. Look at that. Oh, wow. Okay. They just fell. I love when that happens. I feel like that happens every time I'm with you guys. Beautiful. Activated earth. Activated earth. And then perspective. Okay. And in case my camera is slightly blurry, my friends, but c'est la vie. Activated earth. It says power places, ley lines, trust where you're led. Wow. I really feel this one. This one is so much a part of my reality right now, with like the quaking and the shaking under my feet. But activated earth, meaning that the earth is seriously waking up, and we're waking up with her. That each of us is actually starting to get clued in perspective, starting to get clued in to what we're here to do. What are we here to do? What are we here to do? Hmm. Hmm. Activated earth and perspective. What do you guys see in this? I honestly almost see as if like this is a doorway leading through to this higher perspective, as if these two cards are together. And I almost feel this magnetic kind of tension feeling between these, where this is a moment where we can actually start to pull ourselves up and see a little bit clearer. This is a time where we can reflect on everything that has passed this year, and we can start to like lay a foundation, a grid work for our next year, and start to actually live that plan right now. There's a lot of that, come January, all the New Year's resolutions and people flooding the gym for like 2 days, and they give up and they're done. And that part of this is actually reestablishing what you are committed to. What is your actual goal? What is it that you want to ground? What is it that you want to um because when I'm thinking of like activated earth, this is action. This is grounded action. So the literal ground that you're walking on, but also that emotional foundation. What do you need to feel solid? What do you need? And the what's required is actually for us to zoom out. Whoa, look at that. That's why this painting's hanging out with us today. I always love when the paintings are like me, my turn. So this one is like we zoom out to the broader perspective, because I see this one as like we're living in it. We're on the front lines. We're the sometimes in this community, this gathering space, we're healers. We're very emotionally sensitive, and we also are radical activists of some kind, and we're here doing the work first, the first ones doing whatever it is that you're doing. You're the first, probably, of your generation, maybe the first in your community. If you often feel like you're all alone and you don't have people that are into the same exciting, weird things that you were into, and you're just kind of hanging on the fringe because you don't quite fit or belong, it's because you're the first one to radically shift and change the perspective of what has already been grounded and rooted in place for thousands of years, and it's ready to change. It's ready to change. What I didn't point out is that perspective was actually tipped over. So it's the medicine of perspective. And so we can maybe feel a little too rooted in some foundations that weren't serving us, and this zooming out will actually help us gain a bit more ground around how to move forward in a radically new way, a radically activated way. Like this is also making me feel of this portal, this time is actually physically changing us on, and I'm seeing this as like a teeny tiny little cell on a molecular level, that you're actually being activated. Your ground, your body, your being, your home, your house, what we shelter ourselves in is actually changing on a molecular level because of this shift. We're kind of, wow, I'm seeing so many different, like, us being pushed through this almost like wormhole kind of thing. This is just what I'm seeing. So us actually moving through this doorway and coming out like like us like squeezed through like a tube of toothpaste or something, and there's the little dot on the other side. But it's like there's just so much more behind this. I don't know. Does that make any sense to anyone out there? Yeah. Okay. Some of these visuals that I get are pretty out there, but so I am so eager for us to have a guide, or like, so each of us have so many guides to work with, especially on days like today where I'm actually feeling like, oof, I'm starting to sweat. I feel the energy really moving. I'm like excited and animated. There's just so much happening inside. Whew. Where it's like, let's actually call on one of the archetypes in here. Which archetype of guide can really help us move through this, get a higher lens, and really be able to see what is it that we're activating? What is it? And how can we move through that, this like wormhole tube of toothpaste thing gracefully? How can we do that with ease and joy? Because not everything has to be hard, laborious work. In fact, yes, we definitely learn lessons quickly that way, but not everything has to be earned through suffering. And how can we actually learn the same lessons gracefully and with ease quickly? And so let's go ahead and call on the archetype guide that can help us move through this 12-12 portal gracefully. Gracefully. Oh, there was this one, this one. Okay, let's see, who is it? Well, doesn't that make sense? Earth Mother. Doesn't that make sense? If we are kind of going through a wormhole, well, perhaps it's actually us being birthed. This is like yet another regeneration process. And so, Earth Mother, of course, right? Of course. So, calling on actual Earth, activated Earth. Like, I mean, wow. Yeah, of course. Activated Earth, calling on Earth Mother herself to just like feel held and nurtured and supported, super supported through this process. So really even think of like, in your body, what will help you feel anchored? What helps you feel grounded? What helps you feel safe? All of these different things, like accumulating, it's almost like a theme of today. What do you need? What do you need? And really thinking, envisioning, and pulling yourself up out of the kind of scattered feeling when we don't have something that we need, and that rough rumbling turbulence that causes in our life when we have a need that's not being met, and really starting to pull yourself up out of the story of it, and just tuning into your body to feel what it is that you need, and feeling into where in your body it lives, and tuning in to that feeling and just sitting with it, just allowing it to exist. Because that's another part of Earth Mother is that, have you seen all of the things that she allows? She's allowing us to learn our lessons, however which way we choose to learn them. And she supports our learning process, however difficult we make it for ourselves. She continues to love unconditionally and continues to hold us gently to her as she spins around this universe saying, I got you. You're going to be okay. I wish you would learn it this other way, but I got you. And there's the earth spinning, 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 or whatever planet. It just felt like an earthy planet. But she loves us unconditionally, and she allows us to choose whichever path we want or don't. Sometimes we allow the path to choose us. So this is also getting into a bit more sovereignty. That's a word that has really started coming up more and more and more, getting more into our sovereignty of what is it that we choose to activate with her love and support. Because she's going to support you no matter which way you go. If you want to learn it hard, if you want to learn it easy, it's all there for you. So, and what does she say at the bottom? It says, feel loved and comforted. Oh. And I just get like a big, deep sigh of like, just feels nice to just simply be with Earth Mother. She feels really good. Okay. Let's see. Let's go ahead and the archetype of today. Just feel like continuing to read. Don't want to leave you guys yet. This is such a juicy reading. Oh, wow. Okay. If you're out there and you're seeing this card, you know it's for you. This came up earlier just today in a reading that I was doing. Wow, the vision and perspective, getting clear, getting grounded. Wow, this is basically the same message. And so, yeah, this is pretty wild. Little inside joke. But yeah, the vision. Look at that. Wow, look at that. So balancing the duality. I'm seeing like the duality of the hands clasped up and down, the rainbow, the two owls, and then this mountain and forest, light and dark colors at night with the moon, all illuminated in the dark, and the owls and their eyes piercing the dark, seeing and really being able to digest what is in the dark. Because owls are nocturnal. They find their dinner in the dark. So they're active in the dark. And so this activated earth and then perspective being in the dark, To me, this is talking about, first of all, subconscious. So getting clear on some things that are coming up. They have roots always in the subconscious. There's reason that you think the way you think. Everything has deep roots. Look at these trees, deep roots rooted in a prior vision, a vision that once was and probably was there anchoring a form of comfort, a form of safety, protection. And so it's really time for us to start zooming out and taking a look at our visions. What does your mental map look like? I really do see this as like us taking a look at the branches of our trees in the dark and knowing which ones to start to prune, which ones are actually here to be anchored deep like this mountain, going through all the layers of time. Which visions do you want to move forward with? So it's really interesting that that is the archetype of today, of envisioning. So, I really would just invite you to use today as an opportunity to envision what it is that you want for yourself next year, even just tomorrow. Why start like so far ahead? Why not just start like, what do you need today? What do you need tomorrow? What kind of foundations can you start to put in place? Like, what kind of habits could you start to put in place that would support your growth the same way that Earth Mother does? Mm. And really start to, envision yourself already living that way, already having established whatever this routine or habit or goal. um, Really just put yourself in that space where you're already living in it. It already exists. Because remember, going back from last reading with working with our future selves has already made every possible decision that you could ever make. And so if we sit in our vision and start to deliberately choose which way do we want to move forward. Feel it as if it already exists, because it does already exist. That vision already exists in a timeline that you just haven't walked onto yet. So, like, actually using today as the doorway to the timeline that you want to start walking onto. And that actually takes pausing, quieting, and being still, being in your emotional body, in your envisioning dark body, where you can feel safe and comforted. Like, look at these hands clasping and protecting this very sacred space inside here. That in order to feel comfortable enough to drop our guards and envision whatever it is that we want, we need to feel safe. So give yourself that cocoon of safety, however which way you know how to. And for me, how I do that is I really just I call in the elements, I call in the directions, I call in the archangels that shield and protect me, And I ask for pretty much a barrier of unconditionally loving energy where the only thing that can come into my space is that loves me, nurtures me, and wants what's best for me. And like my higher self that already knows what I need. So if I truly need a certain lesson, then it's allowed. If it's just extra suffering for no reason at all, it will not be allowed in. And it will go to where it needs to belong. Not everything needs to belong here to us. Everything has a place where it belongs. And so this vision is actually getting solid in what you need. So, okay. I think that's a beautiful vision. And now we're just gonna, I feel really called to pull from my little my handbook that fits so perfectly in my hands. Just love it. So let's just go ahead and from that heart space, we'll just see what is it that this little handbook needs us to see today. Listen closely. Listen closely. So we've got Earth Mother really inviting us to use our senses. So we've got vision, both actually seeing and envisioning, like going inward and seeing. And then we've got listening, deep listening with the shell. And the shell tied to the ocean and then the moon. We've got that again here, taking it just a step deeper, making this even more rich and potent of listening deeply to those emotions. Because maybe sometimes we don't have a particular vision, but we can feel in some way what we need. So, okay, happy 12/12 to everyone out there. And yeah, happy envisioning. Use that support that's being offered to us today and every day. It's not just today, but today is just super, super amplified, super magnified. Um, Today is also a day where Mercury is right across the street from Sirius. And so this is communication cross long distance with star relatives. And that also can be used really well in tuning in to higher guidance for today. We've got so much support, so much. So that being that, I guess I will see you all in the next reading. And bye.